Hi, it's Mary. For those who haven't seen my other posts, um, I am a transparent mom. Um, I have two kids that are transgender, and I started this video blog just to start some conversation around what it's like to be a parent or family member of people who are trans. And King 1091 had asked a question about memories and how that plays out. And there's a lot of dynamics, so that'll probably be the subject of a few videos. But my first thought is, you know, misgendering a trans person is something that is a very sensitive topic, and it can be very difficult. You're used to calling your child he or she most of their life, and then are expected to change, and sometimes unfairly expected to be perfect with that. I can guarantee you I am not. And the main reason why I'm not is because of memories. When my kids aren't right with me, I 100% go with the pronouns that they want. But when they're here as a mom, you think, what the memories are that you've had, that you've enjoyed, and that you loved. And really, I don't really know the right way to do it. Like my daughter, when she was my son, a lot of the memories we had that were spectacular. When I told the stories for years and years, right? I'm saying he did this, he did that. Now it's she, but at the time it was a he. So which way do you go? For me, for a long time I stuck with, um, the gender they identified with at the time. I'm not 100% sure they're okay with that, but for me, those are memories I don't want to let go, and I'm not going to let go. So, but now I find what happens is sometimes I'll start with the gender they are now, and so it's kind of funny because some people have heard. You repeat stories over time. They've heard it one way, and then they hear it the other way, and it's kind of funny because people that maybe don't know that my kids are trans, they might think I don't know which kid I'm talking about, which I find really kind of funny. So, it's a tough one. I think, I try to do my best to be sensitive to using the pronouns that they want, because why wouldn't you, right? It's just respectful. But, with memories, that was probably one of our biggest arguments, especially with my son. Um, we kind of got into a fairly good argument about that one time. We were talking about a memory, and it was while he was still kind of coming into his own. He hadn't been out as a trans person for very long, and I was telling a story, and of course I was using she because at the time of the what I was talking about, he was a she, and and he got mad at me, and I said no, those are my memories. I'm not giving them up, and as we got talking about it, the point I made to him, sorry, that was my voice. The point I made was, every bit of who you are right now came from who you were. And I get 100% that they don't identify as the gender that they were at the time, but that still, it's still a valid memory. It's still an important part of who they were. It's part of what gave them the confidence to be comfortable to come out and be who they are. And if you deny part of who you are, you're denying. You can't ever be comfortable with who you are, because you're looking at a part of yourself as if it's not valid. And if part of you is not valid, that means the whole you can't be valid. So, I push back on them with that, because I think that's important, and not just for trans people. I think all of us go through parts of our memories that we're not happy with, or we're not proud of how we did something. But that you learned, you got better, and as a trans person, right? You had to come to a point where either it was so difficult being somebody that you weren't, or you understood that it's wrong to be someone who you aren't. And part of that is going through what you went through to get to that point. And I don't ever want them to deny it, because they're fantastic people. They did great things when they were kids, and I'm not going to not talk about it. Like all kids, they did some dumb things too. Still not going to not talk about those either. But anyway, I think the memory part's important. I have to, like I said, kind of remind them that I'll probably get that part wrong for a long time yet. But I don't know. I'm not. I don't find it to me that I'm being disrespectful, because it's not that I'm not acknowledging who they are today. It's more like I'm paying homage to who they were in the past that got them there. So I think that's pretty valid. I may change my mind here and there about that, but when I think about it, I always seem to come back to that point. So anyway, King 1091, I hope that answers your question. And until next time, be good, be gracious, and be kind. Thanks.